Today, the moon continues in Aquarius, bringing in themes of shakeup, new thinking, new possibilities, shifts in consciousness, and how we think about the future. We also have today the second of three exact Mars oppositions to Pluto. So let's talk about that. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro Vibe for Thursday, January 2nd, second day of 2025. We are surviving so far. We can do this, right? So, okay, so what should we expect with this Mars opposition to Pluto? First of all, it's the second of three exact oppositions. And so when planets are in opposition to one another, they highlight each other's energy and how they work together, as well as how they bring friction to each other. They are activating. So when planets are opposite, they are reflecting back to each other. And it's a little bit like in psychology, a little bit like projection when you're in a relationship and you say, hey, this other person is doing this thing that I hate. And then you reflect on yourself and it's like, oh, wait a minute. I do that too. Or here's how that's coming from me. So the planets do that. And the planetary energies in this case are Pluto, the planet of depth and power and truth and honesty and transformation and change at very deep levels. It is the planet that digs up what has been hidden in the shadows, brings it into the light of day for us to go, wow. I didn't want to look at that, but here it is. And so now I have to deal with it. And guess what? We're better in the long run after we do look at it. So it's that process of transformation that has us tapping into something deep and real. And then, so that's intense. Pluto is intense energy. And then we have Mars coming into this opposition. Mars is the energy of action, of reaction, of assertiveness, aggression, in some cases, even violence. It's impulsive, it's compulsive, it is what drives us. It also has to do with life force energy. And so, what is needing to move can't be held back, right? With Mars. Okay, so when you have Mars and Pluto in any kind of combination, it can be a little bit explosive because Mars is the here and now action, energy that has been under pressure, blows up or has to be released somehow. And then that Plutonian energy saying you can't hide this any longer, right? This needs to come to the surface. It needs to be confronted as a truth. So when those two combine, it can be a little volatile, right? Okay, so we had the first exact Mars-Pluto opposition 2 days before the November 5th election. So it was on November 3rd. And that first opposition of Mars to Pluto was in Cancer and Capricorn. So just before Pluto left Capricorn, we had that volatile coming to a head of some energies that happened right around the election, and that Mars energy in Cancer. Also, both at 29 degrees, both at the very end, very, very end of their signs. So Mars in Cancer, that protective energy, that defending, controlling, saying, the dark side of Mars and Cancer can be that energy that says, I won't allow you to do anything because I'm going to keep you down and keep you safe, right? Keep this sense of control, this sense of we will not change because it feels dangerous. And so that clinging to the past, to comfort, to what we know, even when it is ultimately not in our best interest, our greatest good. And that Pluto at the same time in Capricorn saying, here is the dark side of of control, of authority, of patriarchy, of these systems and structures that are here to govern our lives. So, what is it we need to see? What is the deeper truth that is being revealed about systems and structures, governing organization, ways that we do things, ways we operate, operating systems? Okay, so so a little bit of that fierce Mars energy, and of course we didn't know how it would all play out, but in retrospect now we can say, at least from my perspective, I would say, this controlling energy, but at the same time, this push for change, this explosion of what has been repressed or suppressed, coming to the surface. So take with that, process it, take it in how you will. Hopefully it's useful for you. Okay, but now we're on this second. Mars went retrograde. So it passes by this opposition again. This time, when they are opposite, Mars is retrograde in Leo. Pluto is in very early Aquarius. And so we have an Aquarius Leo opposition. This time it is about the power of the people, Pluto in Aquarius, the power of communities, the power of intellect, Aquarius, versus Mars, the fight, the fight for ego, the fight for me, right? I want to be the center of attention. What does that look like? And of course, both of these things have a bright side and a darker side. So we also have that Mars in Leo saying, find your courage, take action, do what is needed, stand for what you care about, right? Do that thing, and shine your light in the process, and be who you are, be seen for who you are, as at the same time, the darker side of Pluto in Aquarius says, losing, there's a sense of losing individuality with the darker side of Pluto in Aquarius. And that's where we bring in technology, social media, our internet lifestyles, AI, right? All the technology and artificial intelligence that we are part of our lives today, and how we interact, how we relate. So looking at the darker side of that. Okay, that's a lot, right? All right, so let me see if I can sum this up. So Mars in Leo can be explosive, can be conflict, right? It can bring up conflict, potentially even violence. I don't want to dwell on that, because what's also important here is that we can find our courage. There's an invitation to step into the power of what it is to be you, how to be you, how to shine your light in the world, and what that courage brings in terms of creativity and the way forward in that vision for the future. So ask yourself what courage looks like and feels like to you, and remember that if things go haywire with this opposition, just keep breathing, right? This is about staying the course. Keep doing what is good and what brings good into your life, and what what you can do to remember that there is good in the world, and to put your energy into that, and to help it grow, and to help it find creative new ways forward. So that exact opposition of Mars to Pluto, second of three, is, and I'll tell, I don't remember when the third one is off the top of my head. It's like leaving me right now for some reason. But tonight, so January 2nd, it's January 3rd, early Eastern time, but late on January 2nd, when the exact opposition takes place. I want to say it's around 10:30 p.m. Pacific. So what is that, 11 till 1:30 a.m. Eastern, something like that. Anyway, right in that ballpark, is when the exact opposition is. That doesn't mean that something's going to happen right at that moment. It means this energy is up for a couple of days at least, before and after the exact opposition. So just know that that is happening. Know that it is part of the unfolding cycles of what we are here to do. And you can be more of who you are. You can take care of yourself in ways that help you remember who you are, help you do what you're here to do, and connect with your own truth, finding courage to live and be that truth in the world. Today's Aquarius moon also helps us tap into higher levels of thinking, shifts in consciousness, new ideas, and new possibilities, the insights that could help us throughout the year. So clear your mind, clear the decks, open the space out so that you can make room for new thinking and new ideas, because spacing out is just clearing out old thinking to make room for new ideas. And you know how new ideas arrive, right? They just pop in. And how many how many of you have had a thought pop in when you're in the shower, or when you're on a walk, or when you're just, cooking dinner or something, right? It's like it's when you're spacing out that the ideas pop in, and then you're like, "Oh, wow. I never thought of it that way," right? This is a really helpful way for me to think about it and might even make you feel better. So make room for those new ideas. Thanks so much for being here and for wading through with me the meaning and significance of some of these really important planetary alignments heading into 2025. I'm going to keep you posted on the energies, on what to expect and what to do with it, how to show up, how to be your best self, take care of yourself. So I'm here every day with Astrology for Unshakable Self-Care, and part of self-care is living the life you came here to live, making the difference you came here to make, because that makes you feel better, happier, all the things. So that's part of your self-care. And thank you for being here. You can learn more about me at astrologyheals.com. I'm Marina Orms. Thanks for subscribing and telling your friends if you are enjoying these videos. I appreciate your support, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.